every man thinks he knows what women want: love, attention, security, romance. But the truth is, those are just forms of something much deeper. What women are truly searching for, what 99.9% of them crave yet rarely find, is an emotional connection that makes them feel seen without performing, safe without pretending, and desired without earning it. It's not about flowers, promises, or endless words. It's about presence, a vibration that tells her, "You understand me without needing to fix me." This kind of connection can't be faked, bought, or forced. It's felt. And once a woman feels it, she becomes loyal to it almost instinctively. Because to the feminine, emotion is oxygen. And the man who knows how to breathe with her energy, not control it, becomes unforgettable. But here's the irony. Most men fail to create this connection because they chase the surface. They try to impress instead of influence. They try to perform instead of project calm. They believe that attraction is built through words, looks, or wealth. Yet none of those things create the one emotion women are truly searching for: emotional safety. When she feels that with you, her entire being relaxes. Her voice softens. Her energy flows. She doesn't have to test you anymore because her instincts recognize your steadiness. That's the secret. Emotional connection isn't about how much you feel. It's about how much you can contain. Because to a woman, the man who can hold her emotion without being swallowed by it is the man she can finally trust. That's why a woman may leave a man who gives her everything, yet stay loyal to a man who gives her peace. It's not the amount of love that matters, it's the quality of energy behind it. A woman can sense when your affection comes from confidence and when it comes from fear. She can feel whether your words come from truth or from the need to please. Her body reads your energy long before her mind hears your sentences. The emotional connection she seeks isn't romantic fantasy, it's emotional alignment. It's the moment when her storms meet your calm and both energies find rhythm. It's not excitement, it's equilibrium. And 99.9% of women are starving for it, because in a world full of noise and performance, men who can provide true emotional safety are almost extinct. So if you want to know why women chase one man but ignore another, why they open up to one voice but close off to another, it's simple. She's not chasing looks, money, or words. She's chasing energy. Because every woman is subconsciously searching for one thing: a man whose presence feels like peace. Before we start, a quick reminder. The real transformation doesn't happen on YouTube. It happens inside the community. If these videos have opened your eyes, what's inside will rebuild your mindset completely. It's not just a course. It's a brotherhood, a private space where men master attraction, emotional control, and the psychology of power. You don't join for a month, you join for life. Every future course, book, and lesson is yours forever. No subscriptions, no limits, just one decision that changes your direction. If you're serious about growth, discipline, and purpose, click the link below. Join the community. Enroll once, grow forever. Let's dive in. Section 1. The hidden language of emotional connection. Before a woman falls in love with your looks, your status, or even your words, she falls in love with how she feels in your presence. Because to her, connection isn't logical. It's energetic. It's not the things you say that reach her heart. It's the frequency of how you say them. That's why one man can speak for hours and still feel distant, while another can say almost nothing and still make her heart soften. The difference isn't in communication, it's in emotional resonance. Every woman speaks a language that can't be heard, only felt. It's the silent language of tone, pacing, eye contact, and presence. When you speak from calm confidence, slow, grounded, without rush, she feels safe. But when your tone carries tension, impatience, or emotional need, she feels pressure, and pressure kills connection. Because deep down, the feminine doesn't open to performance, it opens to peace. The truth most men don't understand is that emotional connection doesn't begin with words. It begins with energy regulation. If your emotions are stable, hers will naturally synchronize with yours. When you're calm, she relaxes. When you're grounded, she opens. But if you're reactive, inconsistent, or needy, her instincts will withdraw before she even knows why. A woman's subconscious is wired to seek emotional containment, to feel that your energy can hold space for hers without judgment or control. That's why you can't talk a woman into connection. You have to become it. You don't build it by explaining your feelings, you build it by mastering them. You don't create it through effort, you create it through energetic stillness. When she feels that your energy doesn't demand, doesn't chase, and doesn't rush, she begins to trust it. That trust is the foundation of the emotional bond she's been searching for. Think of it like this. A woman's emotions are like water, flowing, unpredictable, deep. Your role as a man isn't to stop the waves, it's to be the ocean floor beneath them, unmoving, steady, secure. The moment she senses that your peace remains even when she's emotional, she begins to attach to that peace, because it's rare, because it's sacred, because it feels like home. So understand this. Women don't fall in love with your sentences. They fall in love with your silence when it carries peace. They don't connect to your promises. They connect to your presence when it's calm. Every glance, every pause, every breath you take communicates something her heart understands better than her mind ever could. The hidden language of emotional connection is not spoken, it's transmitted. And when your energy says, "You're safe here," you'll never have to convince her to stay. She'll feel what she's been searching for all along. Not excitement, not perfection, but peace she can finally trust. Section 2. Why emotional safety is more attractive than love. Every man wants to be loved, but what most never realize is that love alone doesn't keep a woman. Safety does. Emotional safety is the oxygen of attraction. Without it, even the strongest chemistry eventually suffocates. Women may be drawn to excitement, power, or mystery, but they only stay where they feel safe to be themselves. That's the unspoken truth behind female loyalty. She's not loyal to how much she loves you. She's loyal to how much she can relax around you. You see, love excites her, but safety grounds her. And that grounding is what allows love to deepen. A woman can fall in love with your passion, but still leave when she feels emotionally unsafe. Because love without peace becomes anxiety. Attraction without trust becomes chaos. A man's ability to create emotional safety is what transforms short-term desire into long-term devotion. So what exactly is emotional safety? It's not protection from the world. It's protection from you. It's the feeling that no matter how emotional, imperfect, or vulnerable she becomes, you won't lose your center. When she cries, you don't try to fix her. You hold space. When she argues, you don't react. You remain calm. When she withdraws, you don't chase. You stay grounded. These moments don't push her away. They bond her to you. Because your restraint tells her something no words ever could. You can trust my energy. This is why women subconsciously test men. She doesn't test to control. She tests to confirm. She wants to feel that your peace is stronger than her storm. Every emotional test she gives is her way of asking, "Can you still be safe when I'm not?" And most men fail, not because they're bad, but because they take it personally. They see her emotion as attack instead of opportunity. But a wise man sees through it. He recognizes that her emotion isn't against him. It's for her safety. When your energy remains consistent in those moments, her nervous system begins to relax around you. You stop being another man in her life and become her emotional home. That's what every woman is searching for. A man whose peace she can trust more than her own impulses. That feeling is rarer than attraction. It's deeper than love. And here's the paradox. The more emotionally safe you make her feel, the more feminine she becomes. Her guard softens, her laughter flows, her affection deepens. She doesn't have to control or compete. Because your presence has given her something the world never could. A space where she doesn't need to perform, only be. Love might draw her in, but safety makes her stay. Because at the end of it all, every woman wants to love freely, but only when she feels that her heart is safe in your hands. Section 3. How women sense energy before words. Long before you say a word, she already knows. Not consciously, not logically, but instinctively. A woman's intuition is her first language, and she uses it to read what most men can't even feel in themselves. She senses your energy before your voice, your intention before your action, and your confidence before your words ever leave your mouth. This is why some men seem magnetic without effort, while others repel despite trying everything right. Because women don't respond to what you say. They respond to what your energy transmits. To a woman, your presence is a frequency. The tone of your voice, the rhythm of your breathing, the stillness in your eyes, all of it forms an emotional message that bypasses her logic and goes straight to her nervous system. If your energy carries calm, control, and self-respect, her instincts feel safe. But if your energy carries need, pressure, or uncertainty, she feels tension. And tension in her body becomes hesitation in her mind. That's the moment she begins to pull away, often without knowing why. This is what most men don't understand. You cannot hide your emotional state. You can dress it, mask it, or disguise it behind charm, but your energy always speaks first. A woman's intuition is wired for survival. It evolved to detect emotional instability as danger. That's why even subtle insecurity, a pause too long, a forced smile, a tone that seeks approval, instantly shifts her perception. It's not judgment, it's instinct. Her body interprets unstable energy as a lack of leadership. This doesn't mean you must be perfect, it means you must be present. When your emotions are centered, your energy tells her, I'm here and I'm not threatened. That steadiness is irresistible because it gives her permission to relax her guard. It's not your confidence she desires, it's your consistency. Because confidence can be faked, consistency cannot. When your energy remains steady, even in her uncertainty, she feels something rare, emotional gravity. And here's the paradox. The more you focus on saying the right words, the weaker your energy becomes. Words chase validation. Energy commands attention. The quiet man whose presence is calm and composed doesn't need to fill space. He owns it. That's what makes women lean in, both emotionally and physically. They feel your peace before they understand it. So stop thinking of attraction as performance. Think of it as projection. You're not trying to convince her with words, you're communicating through presence. The more still you become, the louder your energy speaks. Because in truth, every woman listens with her emotions before her ears. She's not analyzing your sentences. She's feeling your frequency. When you master that, when your energy aligns with peace instead of pressure, you'll never need to chase attention again. Because women don't fall for words. They fall for how they feel around your silence. Section 4. The feminine craves. Emotional depth, not drama. There's a dangerous misconception many men believe that women are attracted to drama. They mistake emotional expression for chaos, passion for instability, intensity for connection. But the truth is much deeper. Women don't crave drama. They crave depth. What they're really searching for is emotional movement. Not noise, but aliveness. Because the feminine doesn't thrive in emptiness, it thrives in emotional resonance. Most men today are emotionally shallow. They can talk, joke, and flirt, but they can't feel. Their energy stays on the surface, safe but forgettable. They fear vulnerability because they equate it with weakness. Yet in doing so, they strip away the very thing that makes a woman feel seen. The feminine wants to feel your soul, your calm, your conviction, your honesty, not your perfection. When you're too guarded, she senses that there's no depth to dive into, and if she can't feel you, she can't connect to you. But emotional depth isn't about oversharing or dramatizing your feelings. It's about authenticity. It's about speaking truth from stillness. A man with depth doesn't need to talk about his emotions constantly. His silence already carries weight. His words are rare but sincere. His eyes tell her what his mouth doesn't. His energy speaks a language of grounded presence, not chaos. That's the kind of depth that draws the feminine closer. It doesn't overwhelm her, it anchors her. Drama, on the other hand, is emotional noise without structure. It's insecurity disguised as passion. It's reaction without reflection. Drama excites her for a moment, but exhausts her over time. It gives her butterflies, but steals her peace. And peace is what every woman ultimately returns to. The man who understands this doesn't compete with chaos. He contrasts it. His composure becomes the medicine her emotions crave. When you bring emotional depth, you give her something rare. Emotional safety with intensity. You make her feel something powerful without making her lose herself in it. That's why she'll always come back to the man who listens without judgment, who holds her gaze without control, who feels deeply without falling apart. His depth doesn't demand attention. It commands respect. So understand this. Women aren't addicted to drama. They're addicted to feeling alive. Drama gives a temporary high. Depth gives lasting peace. One drains her. The other restores her. The man who understands this becomes her emotional equilibrium. He makes her feel excitement and safety at the same time. And that's a combination she'll never forget. Because the feminine doesn't want endless emotion. She wants direction within it. She doesn't want you to match her storms. She wants you to hold them. And when you can do that, when your presence carries depth without drama, you stop being an option and start becoming the anchor she never knew she needed. Section 5. Why emotional availability is masculine strength. Society has lied to men about emotions. It taught you that strength means silence, that feeling nothing makes you powerful. But the truth is, emotional availability is not weakness. It's the highest form of masculine strength. Because only a man who has mastered his emotions can afford to express them without fear of being ruled by them. Emotional maturity isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about governing them. Women crave that kind of balance, the man who feels deeply yet moves calmly, the one who can be vulnerable without becoming volatile. When she speaks, he listens without defense. When she expresses pain, he doesn't minimize it or panic. He simply stays present. That stillness communicates something primal to her subconscious. This man can hold space for me. And that's the rarest form of security. You see, being emotionally available doesn't mean being overly expressive or constantly talking about your feelings. It means being real. It means your emotions are honest, not hidden. When you're hurt, you acknowledge it without collapsing. When you're passionate, you express it without ego. When you love, you do so without fear. That kind of openness is magnetic, not because it's dramatic, but because it's authentic. A woman can feel the difference between emotional expression and emotional chaos. One invites her closer, the other pushes her away. Emotional chaos says, "Save me." Emotional strength says, "I can handle me, and you can rest here." That's why emotionally available men don't lose control when rejected or misunderstood. They don't chase for reassurance. They breathe. They know that real strength isn't loud, it's composed. When a man opens up emotionally from a grounded place, he bridges polarity. He brings warmth into strength. That's the combination women instinctively crave. Calmness with soul, logic with empathy, dominance with understanding. She doesn't want a man who's emotionless. She wants a man whose emotions have structure. Because his ability to feel without breaking tells her everything about his leadership. And here's the paradox. The man who hides his emotions to appear strong often feels hollow. The man who expresses them with mastery becomes whole. Women feel that wholeness instantly. It's not the words he says. It's the depth behind them. His honesty doesn't make her question him. It makes her trust him. Because she sees a man who isn't afraid of himself. And that's the kind of man she can surrender to. Emotional availability is not softness. It's stability. It's the calm confession of a man who knows who he is, even when he's vulnerable. It's the ability to say, "I feel this, but it doesn't control me." And that, right there, is the essence of masculine power. Because the truth is, women don't want emotionless men. They want emotionally disciplined men. The ones who can hold chaos in silence and still say, without words, "You're safe here." Section 6. The one emotion. Women, trust above all others. Out of all the emotions a man can show, passion, confidence, affection, dominance, there's only one that truly earns a woman's trust. Peace. Not the fake peace of indifference, but the deep, grounded peace that comes from emotional mastery. Because peace, to a woman, is more attractive than charm, safer than love, and stronger than desire. It's the one emotion her soul recognizes as truth. Every woman has felt the chaos of uncertainty. Men who say one thing and feel another, who love her one day and doubt her the next. That instability creates confusion in her nervous system. She starts to question herself, the relationship, even her own emotions. But when she meets a man who radiates calm, who moves slowly, speaks deliberately, and never lets the world shake his energy, she exhales. Her guard drops. Because her instincts recognize something ancient, safety. Peace is the emotion of leadership. It tells her, "I don't need to control you to feel secure." It's quiet confidence, the kind that doesn't compete, doesn't prove, doesn't chase. And yet, paradoxically, that stillness makes her chase you, because feminine energy is drawn to what stabilizes it. The same way fire is drawn to air, not because air fights it, but because air allows it to breathe. You see, when your energy is peaceful, it automatically commands respect. You don't have to demand loyalty or attention. You become a sanctuary in a world that overwhelms her senses. That's why peace is more seductive than power. Because power excites her, but peace anchors her. A woman might enjoy the thrill of chaos, but she'll always return to the man whose presence silences her overthinking. Peace also builds emotional credibility. When you're peaceful, your words carry weight. She knows you won't speak from ego or impulse, so she listens differently. Your silence stops being distance, it becomes direction. Your energy becomes predictable in the best way, not boring, but reliable. And reliability, to the feminine, is irresistible. But peace doesn't come from pretending to be calm. It comes from inner regulation. It's built through self-awareness, purpose, and solitude. The man who's found peace within himself no longer seeks it through her. He no longer chases validation or fears loss. His love becomes freer, cleaner, lighter, and she feels that freedom the moment she meets him. Because here's the truth. Women don't trust emotions that fluctuate. They trust emotions that endure. Anger fades, lust changes, charm wears off. But peace remains. It's the one emotion she'll never test, never question, never forget. Because peace doesn't just make her feel loved. It makes her feel safe to love you back. And once she's felt that, once she's experienced peace that doesn't demand, doesn't falter, doesn't end, she won't want to lose it. Not because she fears being alone, but because she finally found something sacred. A man whose peace feels like home. At the end of everything, beyond the flirting, the messages, the effort, what remains is energy. And that's all she ever truly wanted. Not attention, not control, not even constant affection. What every woman is searching for. What 99.9% of them are longing for but can't put into words, is emotional peace. The kind of peace that doesn't silence her emotions, but makes her feel safe to express them. The kind that doesn't demand her love, but inspires it. Women don't crave intensity. They crave security within intensity. They don't want a man who simply excites them. They want a man whose calm gives their chaos meaning. Because when a woman feels emotionally safe, she stops performing. She stops competing. She stops pretending to be stronger than she feels. She becomes real. And in that realness, she connects to you not just as a lover, but as something deeper, a presence that brings balance to her storms. The feminine is emotional by design, but emotion without containment feels unsafe. That's why she tests you, not to provoke, but to feel your strength, to know whether your calm is real or fragile. When she senses that it's real, that your peace isn't an act but an energy, something shifts in her. Her defenses fall, her body softens, her loyalty begins. Because her instinct recognizes your presence as the one thing she can finally trust. And that's the truth no one tells men. Women don't want you to fix their emotions. They want you to understand them. They don't need you to speak perfectly. They need your presence to be consistent. They don't need endless reassurance. They need to feel your stillness. Because your stillness tells her what your words never could. You're safe here. The emotional connection every woman craves isn't built through grand gestures. It's built through energy integrity. Through your ability to stay calm when she's emotional, patient when she's uncertain, and present when she's distant. That's how she knows you're not just another man chasing affection. You're a man who anchors emotion. And that's a kind of attraction she doesn't meet twice in her life. So understand this. Women don't fall for men who talk about peace. They fall for men who are peace. They don't want perfection. They want presence. They don't need a man who always has the right words. They need a man whose silence feels safe. Because in the end, every woman is searching for the same thing. Not wealth, not status, not promises, but emotional gravity. A presence that makes her heart rest and her soul say, "This feels like home." And when you become that man, the calm in the storm, the stillness in her chaos, the silence that speaks truth, you'll realize something timeless. You never had to chase love. You just had to become peace. Remember, knowledge means nothing without action. If you're ready to rise above emotion and lead with purpose, join the community today at thestoiccouple.podia.com. Enroll once, grow forever.